Missouri Attorney General Josh Hawley, thank you so much for coming in and taking a little bit of time to speak with us here at the Ozark Radio Network.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
So what brings you down to this region?
You know, I'm on my 100-stop working tour all over the state, visiting workers, visiting small businesses that provide good jobs at good wages, sustaining our local communities. That's what we need more of in the state. Claire McCaskill, my opponent, has voted to send jobs overseas. She has voted to shut down family farms and family businesses. We need to reverse that. We need to get wages up. We need to get jobs back here, healthcare costs down. And, of course, we need to get a conservative Supreme Court justice confirmed, and that is a big issue right now, too.
Now, you've got a bit of a history with the Supreme Court, right?
I do. You know, I started my career working at the U.S. Supreme Court. I actually met my wife working at the U.S. Supreme Court. We both worked for the Chief Justice. We got married after that. I'm a constitutional lawyer by background. I haven't spent much time in politics, and my background is in the practice of law, including at the United States Supreme Court. And I can tell you this, when you choose a judge or a justice, you're really choosing your values. And you can see the values that the president has put forward and that the president has. He wants somebody who's going to protect our Second Amendment, somebody who's going to protect our religious liberty, somebody who's going to enforce our immigration laws. Then you look at who Claire McCaskill has voted for justices and who she's voted for judges. She supported judges who want the federal government to provide illegal immigrant teenagers abortion. She's voted for justices who want to take away our Second Amendment rights and say it's no longer a personal right to keep and bear arms. She's voted for justices who want to take away the right to religious liberty. There's your values right there. I mean, her values are not Missouri's values. That's why she's got to be defeated in November.
We were talking a little bit about the Supreme Court justice nomination. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, look, I think that the president's pick is a great pick. He is somebody who wants to enforce and will enforce the Constitution the way the people wrote it. You see those values on display there. Again, somebody who will actually enforce our immigration laws, somebody who will protect our Second Amendment, protect religious liberty. The fact that Senator McCaskill and her allies in the Senate are trying to shut this whole thing down, you see the Democrats vowing to obstruct, try to prevent this judge from even coming to a vote. It's just absolutely unbelievable. The American people and the people of this state who voted for the president by 20 points, they want to see something get done in Washington. They want to see action be taken. Claire McCaskill should have the guts to break with her party and actually follow the will of the voters of Missouri and vote yes to confirm, but I'm sure she won't.
A quick question for you really quick, with some people out there who are saying that you're kind of using this position or this campaign to move up the ladder, which you said you would not do. People have been kind of going after you on that. What are your replies to those people?
You know, I would say this. I think that we're at a critical moment as a country, and you can see this right here in the Supreme Court fight. I mean, here we have got the balance of the Supreme Court is on the line. And where is it going to be decided? The United States Senate. Where the future of our family farms going to be decided? Where's the future of immigration in this country? Are we going to even have borders anymore in this country? All of those things on the line in the U.S. Senate. And while it was never my plan to run for the U.S. Senate, I decided last fall, after my wife and I thought about it, prayed about it, that this was a call to serve, and we cannot afford 6 more years of Claire McCaskill, who for 36 years now has been running for office, selling out the people of Missouri. She's a great defender of the liberal moneyed elite. If you want to know where Claire McCaskill is on any issue, just ask where the big corporations are, just ask where the big money liberal donors are, and that's where she is. You know what? Wall Street has plenty of defenders in the Senate. We need somebody who's going to stand up for Missouri farmers, Missouri families, Missouri businesses. That's why I'm running.
All right. I was going to ask you what makes you more qualified than McCaskill. Do you think your judicial experience plays into that?
Well, I certainly think it's a big deal to have somebody who believes in our Constitution and who believes in the Constitution the way the people wrote it. And if you look at Senator McCaskill, I mean, she has time and again favored judges and justices who want to impose their own values, their activist liberal values on the Constitution. And here's the thing that gets me about Claire McCaskill. Her values and her priorities line up perfectly with the liberal moneyed elite. Hollywood, Wall Street, the big corporations, their liberal values. That's how she votes. That's what she advocates for, whether it's open borders. I mean, her new legislation she's pushing now that would force the federal government to just release into the country any illegal immigrant who brings a child across the border. This is radical, crazy stuff. This is what she is for. This is what she's fighting for. We don't need people fighting for corporations and illegal immigrants. We need people fighting for Missourians, and that's what I want to go to the Senate to do.
You have a new campaign ad that was out yesterday, I believe, was the first day
Correct.
it ran. In your ad, you say that our values are under attack, our way of life is at stake.
That's right.
Explain that if you could.
You know, at the United States Supreme Court, we have now a question. Which way is this court going to go? Are we going to have a court that will protect our Second Amendment rights? Will we have a court that will protect our borders and actually allow the government to enforce our border, secure our border? Are we going to have a court that will protect religious liberty and the rights of conscience? Or will they take all those things away? All of that is on the line with this Supreme Court choice, and it's on the line in the United States Senate. And Claire McCaskill has been on the wrong side of all of those issues, voting for judges who have trampled on every single one of those things. And that's why I say the future of our country, our whole way of life, is on the line right now with this fight over the Supreme Court, and frankly, with this fight right here in Missouri over the Senate.
All right, Mr. Hawley, anything else?
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you for coming out here. Appreciate your time.
You bet.